well, you know, you drafting number three and having the number three pick in the draft be your third string. I'm like, I drafted him. I'll do what I want with him. And I needed five quarterbacks last season. Why? I have no need to give up, you know, at least not this year.
Yeah.
Let's say next year everything works out fine. Brock Purdy's league MVP. We win a Super Bowl. Now we're talking. But I would be very disappointed. Also, you know, it's not like we've given up on Trey Lance. Everyone's like, I don't know. I guess people claim Shanahan is in love with come on, Sam Darnold. And maybe is that Huntress? It is. Does she have the perk?
No.
She probably has the locker perk though. Had the heartbeat at left.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, of course.
I got humming by me.
Oh wow.
Humming's gone.
She's upstairs. I can confirm that. Now I have no idea where she is.
Humming's back.
I am on a gen. Come on, Fane, get on this gen with me.
Oh, she's chasing.
Yep. She's not any. Yep, there it is. Upstairs. Oh, why would you do that, lady? There we go. Come on, Fane. That's odd. She jumped. There she goes. Maybe she was just trying to... that does prevent jolt, which is awesome. No Scourge. She did two really nice things for us.
Coming back.
Yeah, I'm here. Go do a gen.
Looks like she's going upstairs. Opening the door. Oh, I blew a gen.
She's on her again. I feel bad. She wanted a heal right there at the hook. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Maybe I can body block for her? That guy body blocked for her. Alright, so I'm gonna get on a gen because gym pressure. I am around the corner from you, like the long way around by an entry.
So after you finish a hill, you yell.
I'm getting the save.
Sure?
Yep, I got it. You want heals? She's right here.
We have a singing by us.
I think she's coming this way. Nope, nothing. I'm gonna scream here in a moment. I did not scream.
She's still up here. Upstairs.
Here. I'm going across the way back to my gen.
No heartbeat. No heartbeat. 0 heartbeat.
I'm back on my gen, although it's really kind of pathetic. Heartbeat. I'm running away. She's on me. I'm as far away from the action as I think I can be. Of course, I'm in the longest hallway ever. What the what? What the what? Oh, she is that add-on. Okay, I'll take a gen for a chase. I'll do that. I'll take that. She got chlorophobia, so that's not fun. I will take that. My gen is still pathetic. But it's right in front of me. I got a person here. Thingman's gonna get me. I'm gonna go upstairs. Why did you run with me, Fang? Wow, she went down so fast. Of course, I ran to the wrong spot. Do we know anything about borrowed? Or I mean barbecue?
I don't think she has barbecue.
I got the unhook.
Kicked my gen.
I got singing.
Wanna go for the stairs? Oh, someone
I got it.
said.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
She is up here, I think. They're singing.
Wow.
Might be gone now. I'm like caddy corner from where you are. Oh, she's here.
I don't know what's going on. Is she near you?
She's here. She's here where I am.
Oh!
No, she's not on you. She's here with me. I know you don't know where I am. I can't really call out.
Oh, I wish they wanted Jen. So you know where Jen is upstairs?
Yeah, I know where two gens are upstairs. You have eyes on her?
She's not coming from the upside. The downside, I mean.
Want to go through the courtyard? Kill you behind
Yeah.
this building? Behind the clock tower? Or over here?
Oh, there's a pallet here. Wait.
There's
Yep.
right here.
Now you're gonna scream and then be whatever you call it. You should 99 me.
Where are we going?
Oh, crud.
What's going on?
Strong heartbeat. I'm gonna go upstairs because I heard a gen going pretty well. So she's above the gen that's going.
Yeah. There's another gen in one of the rooms up here, though.
If you get on that one, we can work this one.
She was up here. Did you get the save? Yeah? Okay, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. There's a Jen down here too. I'm healing her up because she's dead on a hook.
Here, let me.
Okay, so I got a Jen here.
Yeah, there's a Jen here, and then there's 2 upstairs. I know.
All right, I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Yep, go upstairs.
Oh, hold on. She might be coming downstairs. Who's she on?
We're on our Jen.
Who's she on?
I don't know. We're on our Jen.
On this Jen?
If you're upstairs, we're good.
Yep.
So you're above us pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yep, here she is.
Heartbeat. Is
She's
she
up here.
upstairs?
She's upstairs. Right left. She might
Don't
be.
worry, this Jen's done.
Probably going downstairs.
I have no reason to go anywhere near a
I'm
door
by
right
one
now.
of the doors. I'm waiting for her to come to this door. Then I'm gonna drop down.
Strong heartbeat. Strong heartbeat. Strong heartbeat. She's coming back to you. You're gonna run away, I think.
No, I went to the A.
Okay, I'm at
Hold
the
Trying to.
Okay, you're on the other door.
Yeah, I'm back in the other door.
She's not on me yet. We're both on doors.
Yeah, her singing is like. I'm gonna get this door open.
Get out. I'm out too. There we go. That was a well-played game, man. I'm leaving.
Yeah, me too.
All right, last game of the night ends on a win. That is pretty much all you can ask for. And I pipped. Even better.
Ah,
Yeah,
I double
that's-
pipped.
that's-
That's good.
Literally, you like well, I guess not. I thought you and I did a whole lot, but this Claudette, she had to have been doing something.
Yeah, so
So,
I was gold benevolent, gold evader, iridescent lightbringer, iridescent, unbroken. I got 3 pips, but I don't know what I didn't do to score better. I don't know. Well,
I mean, you
I
double
scored
pipped.
fine. I mean, I scored fine. Like, it was,
I just would have thought you and I were 1 and 2.
anyways.
Alright,
Oh
let's
yeah,
see
she
how we
did. She
did
did
here.
have the Mori. She was waiting for us with the Mori. So she really
Did she
wanted.
have Noah?
No.
I don't understand how she didn't get someone in a chase. Because that was that's not a that's a reliable split.
Yeah. My guess is she gave up and was probably just standing somewhere close to the doors.
Yeah, that could be it.
You know, and it was just like, nah, F it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't feel a whole, like, I finished 7-7. You finished 5-8. The team finished 6-6-2, so that's not bad. Of course, the other brother finished 4-6, and my wife finished 5-5. We both end on a win. You ended a 3-game losing streak, one of which was a sacrifice play. You're at 740 wins. Yeah. So, you know, just a brief mention, and I'd like your input. So, since we started playing with the other brother and my wife, you know, it's fair to say that we've been doing better. But it's not like they've not been doing, you know, well. You know, tie night, losing night. And yeah, but I mean, it's still not like I'm at 43, you're at 44. It's still not like,
What are you talking about? My overall record is at 44.
you're at 44% win rate. Mark is at 42. Julie's at 38. So it's not like, you know, 43 is a little high. 44 is kind of high. But it's not like, you know, it's not like we're on easy mode. We still lose 58, 56% of the time, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, you gotta, you know, people are gonna want to make, see, it's overpowered. They went all, no, I would literally still lose. I mean, even if you look at the team, like, one of us might get out, but the team literally did not win as often as we tied or lost. So we still tied or lost 8 out of 14 games. So even the team tonight was below 500%. So, you know, I don't want anyone, you know, well, I mean, okay, I don't have to want them, but metrically speaking, if you just look at raw data, you cannot argue, oh, well, you're overpowered. In fact, what this is proving is if you want to have a chance, if you want to be in a game where two of your teammates can have a tie record, you better have a 4-man. That's what this proves. What are your thoughts?
Well, again, I think, you know, this metric is just ours, and it's also certain factors. We have 2 players who've been playing since like 2000, maybe 2016. Yeah, 2016 was the game 7 years old.
Year 4. I think year 3 was my first anniversary year. Was Ghostface year 3?
I don't remember.
I think Ghostface was the year 3 anniversary, and I played just before Ghostface showed up. Like, I saw Freddy, I saw Pig, so those are the guys who were new.
Maybe it was 2017 I started playing. I know it wasn't right at launch because it launched on the PC. But yeah. I did start playing the second it came out on Xbox. I bought it and started playing. So, anyways, so maybe it was 2 years. So maybe it wasn't, maybe it was 2018 or whatnot. Point is, I have been playing since it launched on Xbox, and you were playing shortly after. All they had to do is introduce you to the game, and you're like, yeah. So, going back to my point, we have 2 individuals that have been playing the game long time, and have been been through different variations of the game, different buffs, nerfs. And then there are two individuals who, comparatively speaking, are relatively new to the game and are learning the game. Still learning the maps, learning the call-outs, learning intuitively what moves need to be made. And so we can say with this group and the way it's composed, yeah, we still only win right around that 50% of our games less. But I don't think we can discount when you have 4 players who have been playing the game for a long time and intuitively know what needs to happen at certain points in the game. I think then when we start getting to that point, start working even better as a team, then those win percentages go up. But I don't think we can just base it what we're going right now and go like, well, see, you can't say what you can't say is people can't say in general that 4-man teams always win. But we also can't say in general that 4-man teams will only get you, 40 to 50% win rates. And we can say our 4-man team will get you 40 to 50% win. But I fully expect that, if everyone sticks with the game and we continue to play, I fully expect that win rate to increase. I really expect, because there's a lot of, if you watch a lot of these games, there's just little silly mistakes we all make. And if you erase those and, the indecisiveness, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but a lot of times Mark and Julie are looking for direction, and I think sometimes we don't even know what the right call is. And then if we do make the call, it could be wrong, right? And I think when they get to the point where they don't need to should I get on a gen? Should I go for the save? Should I do this? Should I do that? There's an intuitive thing, like you and I, for example, playing a long time, we very rarely have to tell the other one what to do, right? Like it's.
Well, I think you're onto something there, because maybe you have a better idea than I do, but you at least know that, oh no, he's gonna do something. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna jump on a gen if I can. You know what I mean? And so, when they get to a point to where they don't wonder what to do, you know what I mean? Where they're not, I think they look for direction, where you might have a better idea than I do, but that there's an element of decisiveness in the game, where like someone just commits, and if you're just decisive, you're like, hey man, I'm gonna go get the save. I'm gonna get on this gen. I'm gonna do this. It may or may not be the right call, but you're at least in a place where you're not frozen. That's where I'm trying to get to. You're not frozen, wondering what to do, and that is to me to me, this game is all about seconds. And if you're not using those seconds, it doesn't. It's less important what you do. It's less important what you do than it is you make a decision. I'm going to get on this gen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it takes a while for new survivors to get that decisive. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I should probably stop. Like, because as long as either of us, and we're trying to be helpful, we're not like, we're not like angry or anything, but we're just like, hey, this is this, or go ahead and do that. And we would do the same thing if it was a 4-man with experience. But maybe sometimes the call outs are something where we should reconsider. Just be like, hey guys,
Yeah.
it's whatever you do is okay as long as you're doing something. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, like I pulled back a little bit from
yeah.
my call outs at one point in the thing, not out of anger, but I've been contemplating this.
Yeah.
Am I handicapping Mark and Julie by not allowing them to experience the game
Yeah.
and calling it? And I know they want call outs, but case in point, the area of crows, that one
Yeah.
where I died on hook, and I'm not mad. I don't I was fine with, but because she asked who should come for the save, and my response was whoever's closer. But
Yeah.
I didn't at that point. I'm like, I don't want to tell you guys what to do. I was
Yeah.
just like, I think this is just um that's part of learning the game, and it's fine. I died on hook. That's cool. But Julie did end up making the decision. I'm going to go, and she just didn't get there in time. And I think that's
Yeah.
good. I think like when it was you were running, and she made the final decision of okay, I'm going to come get you, and that's cool. Like that to me is like a great big step. But I did pull back because I'm like I think I'm hurting them sometimes, um by making, because now they're just expecting either you or I to say do this, do that,
Yeah.
do this, do that. And when and I saw it in Julie in the Red Forest. She was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I didn't have an answer for her because I didn't know. Like I was just
Yeah.
playing my game at that point, and I didn't know. And I think that's one of the things that, like, one of the games that frustrated her. Um, I'm not trying to speak for her, just like I felt it in that game that she was a little frustrated because at one point I asked her, "Are you safe?" And she goes, "Yeah, I guess." And I don't know what she was doing. And you know, I
Okay.
and I felt bad because I was like, well, um, I just don't know what to tell you to do, and that's part of that handicap. And I think there's always a degree of training that at some point I think it's good. We just need to let I think people play the game, and
Yeah.
and when you start relying on others to tell you how to interact in the game, what to do, um,
Hmm.
it causes that. It causes the delay, indecisiveness. Are they going to be angry if I do this or do that? I better just ask them. And I'm like, I'm not going to get angry. I don't care.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
I mean, yeah, no one likes
This
to
is way
lose.
more fun.
Yeah, but yeah, no one likes to lose. But in the end, if we don't take those losses, if we don't make those mistakes, and then we don't talk about them later on,
Hmm.
but yeah, I do want people making the decision, um, those decisions without us, needing to say, hey, you should go for the save. It's just at some point, like I'm going for the save. I'm going to work on this gen. And we can still call things out. Hey, Matt, would you go for that save so I can do this? You know, I'm not. It's those are going to happen. But so I think the team can get better, and I suspect we will get better, and I suspect our win rate will actually increase as Julie and Mark play more and they become more comfortable with
Yep.
the game, with their own play style, what they feel comfortable with and what they don't feel comfortable with. I was I was spending extra time in the game, giving them hills because I felt as my own decision. I felt they needed it. I felt they were getting targeted quite a lot in the games, and I felt they needed the extra hit. Um, so decisions like that, right? You're just making a decision. Sometimes that means, yeah, okay, I made a decision for them, but there are also times when I'm like, let me heal you, Julie, and she's like, no, I'm going to do this gen. I'm like, all right, that's fine, you know. Um, uh, but and that's how it should work. Yeah, I can make a decision. Hey, I'm going to do this gen, and you might say, well, actually, could you get that unhook because I'm being
Yeah.
chased right now? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Good call.
those discussions will still happen. I want everyone to go like I'm going to. We have a we have an overall game plan. Get
Yeah.
gens done. Don't waste time looking in chests, doing totems, healing. Unneededly healing. Um, but I think there also needs to be like, everyone kind of has to. Every, Julie and Mark have to grow into the game just like we did. We had to grow into the
Yeah.
game, right? Because we've been through a lot of different changes, and yeah, there was a time, we better, heal every single chance we get, and I used to carry around urban evasion, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, uh, there was a lot of growth, and I do want them to be able to experience the game and not worry about, am I doing the right thing? Am I, I just like, whatever, just whatever you feel is right, go for it. And
Yeah.
if it
If you're
goes wrong,
trying to do it, like, because the
yeah,
worst thing to do in this game is nothing. That
yeah,
is the worst thing to do in this game.
yeah,
So as long as you're doing literally anything,
yeah,
you're helping to progress the game.
yeah.
You know.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah,
And I,
I suspect, like I said, I suspect that the team will get better. This really wasn't a bad night. I mean,
no.
uh,
No.
it was maybe not as good as night as we had, a couple weeks ago, but wasn't a bad night.
Honestly, I think it was better. I think it was better. Like the so you know there were a few things. Julie sent me some stuff, but if you just look at the raw data, the last time we played, I think we had like really big win rates, but Julie and Mark got obliterated. Tonight, everyone was at or above 40%, including the team. So while you or me or no, like normally what happens is one or two people have like a huge win total, but it's at the cost of other teammates.
Right.
Tonight, everyone got out about the same amount of time, give or take 2 games. Seriously, we were all within that. But when you're the first one found 10 games straight, you're going to remember that.
Yeah.
You will win 10 games straight, but if you're the first one found 10 games straight and you're on death hook two gens into the game, you remember the threat, you know.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, like again, this is one of the reasons why I recommend to people like, hey, keep your stats, because I might feel one way, like when I play my killer games. Sometimes I get beat so bad as Doctor, but my last game with Doctor, uh, I had 11 hooks and 4 kills, and I currently have, like right now, so I get frog stomped, but I have 33 out of 61 games. I'm winning. I'm winning more. Like you remember pain. But my hope is for anyone listening, for anyone reflecting on this, like on one hand, you're like, what are you doing? This is just nonsense, like discussion. But for me, what I'm trying to communicate is, if you track your data, um, when you get out of the raw emotion of it, you can reflect more and you can say like, actually, actually it wasn't the worst night ever. It wasn't like so terrible. We managed to have a pretty decent night. But this is the kind of game that'll really, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Overly sensitize you in the moment. Like in the moment, you're gonna be
Yeah. Yeah. No, it will do that to you, because yeah, you can forget about the streaks when you're getting obliterated.
and then
Yeah.
there's the other side of it. There are some people where I affirm that this game is either you can have fun or you can win. and I don't think you can do both. Like the game I titled this, the most fun game I've ever had. I think we lost that game. It's the Freddy match.
I think you and I died. I think Mark and Julie got out on that one.
Yeah.
So
Whatever happened, me personally, I don't care because that game was just so fun. But I play a game like that and I lose 5 games in a row, like that fun, that fun meter starts to dwindle quick, and then you want to win, but then you're not helping out your teammate as much, you know.
yeah,
So you kind of say to yourself, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna prioritize this, and that's when you can kind of get stuck in a certain spot. So, it forces you to decide, what are you trying to do? Because if you're trying to have fun, then bring in head on and quick and quiet, and you're gonna die. But if you're okay with, oh yeah, I'm gonna die, but this is fun, then you can work. I think when you're a new player, it's very reasonable for you to want to have fun and win, and that's not a thing. that, that is not a thing in this game. If you want to win as killer, you got to camp, 3 gen, and tunnel, and that is not a fun game. Unless winning is fun for you, then things get a little off. But and why I affirm the game is killer sided. You got all the stats and all this other stuff. The killer can have fun by winning because the killer wins on average of 60% of the time. And even then, you have people who win 70, 80% of the time, and they're angry because they're winning and they're angry. And I'm like, come on, man. I might not have fun, but I'm like, I won. Versus I won, but I didn't win in a fun way. Like, hey, those guys who lost, they lost in an unfun way. Do you want to think from their point of view for 1 millisecond? I think already our proposal. I'm gonna pound the table every single time. As long as the game is reliant on kills and escape, and there's nothing in the game to keep it close, this is Dead by Daylight.
yeah.
You know, and
This
and
is
that's unfortunate.
100%. And I wouldn't even call it unfortunate. It's just you have to develop a different mindset, and it's unfortunate. You
Yep.
can develop over time. You can develop a mindset. I feel that we've been developing a mindset. This is what we have to look at as a good night. This
Mm-hmm.
is what we have to expect. The the unfortunate thing, what I find really unfortunate, is all the big content creators um, don't account. It makes you feel like a scumbag when all the big content creators um, basically imply how easy it is to play uh, one side or the other, but never account for the average player. And
Yeah.
so that's hard uh, to accept, because you watch all these big content creators and you like their content, and they go on these rants about how you're garbage because how it's so easy to be this or so easy to be that. How are you only winning 40% of your games? Um, Garbage. You need to get better. Like, well,
Yeah.
I play on Saturday nights, Sunday nights, and that's all I play. And it's really
Yeah.
disheartening when you're an average player and you're told you don't even deserve to play the game because you're not good enough to play this game that they say should not be. Again, a lot of these big content creators, it's not a competitive game. It should be fun and chill. Well, you just got done telling me that because I don't win, now we're talking about competition winning, and because I'm not good enough, again, you're implying it's a competitive game that I shouldn't play. And because there's never been, has there ever been a chill Dead by Daylight. Like,
No.
there might be a killer who's like, no, before this MMR it was chill. It's like, no, you meant you had games where you dominated, and that was chill for you, and that was fun. But like you said earlier, what about the flip side of it? Was that fun and chill for this? Was Survivor just like, man, this is so cool? Like, I've been tunneled out of this game in the first 3 minutes. What a fun and chill game this was. Like, it's never really chill if you've lost. If you've lost the game, it's never chill. When you won the game, it's like, oh, and I get it. People are having fewer and fewer chill games, like where they're just picking apart their opponent. I think we had one chill game tonight, but I say that, and I think we were still, from our aspect, we were tryhards, to have that chill game. It's not like we got out there and like, hey, come chase me, killer. We were doing everything we could to get the gens done, stay hidden. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now. The point is that it is a competitive game. It'll never, ever be a chill game where you just, log on, play a few games, have fun. It'll never, ever be that. It is a competitive game. And for all the top tier content creators to belittle the average player that just comes on here and plays on the weekends or maybe a few games in the evening and say more or less, well, no, they shouldn't design the game around you. You're not good enough to play this game.
You're not worthy of playing with me.
Like, it should only be designed at the top levels for competitive play. And that's really what they want. Like, they want it balanced at their top tier level. Instead of going, you know what, I'm top tier. Like, balance here shouldn't matter. I'm just a content creator. I'm showing this game off. People are buying in, tuning in, watching me, and that's great. But I should really be talking to the average player and not trying to convince all my viewers that they're top tier and the game should be balanced in their play, because they're not. Like, all these guys who are watching, and True and Ots, and I guess Dalsey doesn't stream anymore. Whatever, I don't know. Top tiers. Want balance, but balance on there. It's just disheartening when they discount the average player.
Well, yeah, and I don't even know, like, how many of them, like, I don't know if you've watched it yet. Maybe you can, and we can talk about it tomorrow when we stream again. But Ots did a stream, and he goes, hey, the game is balanced. I actually agree. I just feel like the game is balanced in the most brutal way possible. That is what I think. And Scott Yoon reacted to that video. And they did some demo and stuff like that. And honestly, I agree with what they're saying. But I feel like the way in which this balance is attained, I don't know. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No, I didn't. And I think it's, just looking again at your numbers, I would call the game balanced as well. Yeah. So, my thing is not saying that it's not balanced. My thing is saying content creators who say it's not balanced.
Yeah. So anyone declaring the game is not balanced is not, they're not. They're
adding toxicity to the community.
Yeah.
Right. They're and yes, I've had rough nights. I've mined and I've cried. But in the end, my overall statement has been the game is balanced, and you win and lose. You win or lose based on how you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. And
Yeah.
you either play well, you win, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you play okay and the killer plays bad and you win, or you play bad and the killer is complete potato and everyone carries you, or the killer's just dominant no matter how good you play because he's just that much better than you or she's just that much better than you. But you know, my 40 whatever percent win percentage um, isn't an indication of a balanced game. It's an indication of my play. And when some of those top tier content creators go, well, no, it's unbalanced. Well, you've just created a legion of toxic survivor mains or killer mains or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Going, it's see, that's I'm losing because it's not balanced. It's like, well, no, you're losing because you're not good.
Well,
Like,
I think the game is by large balanced, but you look at my 100 game series, and I'm winning with nothing. And you look at a guy who had a blight streak of 1,000 games. Um, so there are extremes, but I've never seen. The I don't know. I still think Noob's 50 game streak is the record. I'd be
well,
interested to
yeah,
see.
I mean, okay, I will say this. As a solo player, no, the game is not balanced to give solo survivors an advantage, right? Like, I don't know
Right.
anyone after hearing that statement will go, no, no, solo queue survivors are the most toxic thing, and they're so overpowered. Like, that's just not a thing. That's just
Right.
not a thing. A solo queue survivor is not a thing. Every once in a while, you can get into a good group where everyone's on point. Um, but solo queue survivor, the game, I do not believe is balanced around solo queue.
No, it's balanced. It is, in fact, balanced along 4 teams. I think Otz's thing proves that. I think that our even now our stats are starting to show that. Like, and for the record, the definition from my side of balance is killers win about 60% of the time. And that's just because that's what Dead by Daylight wants.
Yeah, and
But before we brought in people who, like, again, skill wise, I get it, but like just having 4 people on your team who had similar mindsets.
yeah, yeah, and it does, if nothing else, we're tracking numbers, we're getting much the same results as when we were 2-man. I still believe in my heart, because there are 4-man groups out there, and I will never be like that level. Just because,
Mm-hmm.
like, first of all, we play games, but we are not gamers. And
Yeah.
those 4-mans that have like 657 wins in a row, at least 3 people escaping, those are like competitive gamers. At least the Dead by Daylight game, they're competitive gamers, right? Those like guys that study maps, they train, shit like that. Like, that's not
Yeah.
us. But I think we can get to a point where, as a whole, maybe we're not getting 3 men time, but I think we'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll get to a point where two of us are getting out on a more consistent basis.
Yep. It, and that to me would be an indication of when we are relatively, because so look, I get worked, but still, even then, like, I with my series as Doctor, I had a pretty solid set going, and then I ended up losing like a total of 9 games, and I had to win my way back. I went on a ridiculous streak, and then I went right back in the hole. And right now, I'm 1 game better than I started with Doctor. And that again gets to the point because Dead by Daylight, it doesn't balance in game, it balances by game. So like, oh hey, you've won 2 games, so here you go. Like here's and Killer Survivor doesn't matter. Like if we had played another game, like the game is like, hey, you've gone too far in a streak, and you would have to be ridiculously skilled to continue because the game is going to try harder and harder to correct based on whether or not you win, regardless of what's going on. So you kick it back to solo queue. Um, this killer may be on a 4 game losing streak, and you may also be on a 4 game losing streak, but it's going to, you're probably going to lose because the killer is on a bigger streak. Now, look, in the end of the day, your game. It's always your game, your play, what you're doing. But it's this huge overcorrection that creates all of the myth. If killers really like, um, you know, an assertion True made was you can have a 60%. Like what caused me to do the 100 games was True said you could have a 60% win rate and a 25%. No, 60% kill rate and a 25% win rate. That is mathematically impossible. I'm telling you right now. And I've been playing no perks and no add-ons for Trapper, Wraith, Billy, and Doctor. And my kill rate and my win rate are much closer than that. So that's just not a thing. But what I will affirm is you might have 2 4Ks and then 3 4-man escapes and then 3 4Ks and then 2 4-man escapes. The games in and of themselves are just so brutal. You don't realize and unless you track the data, like I had to look at the data. The game before the one I just played last night or the night before, I got frog stomped. I think I had like 2 hooks the whole game, and I was like, wow, I'm like legit angry. And I just brought up the stats. I even said it during my stream, like, hey guys, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this, it's okay. But you don't care when it's either feast or famine, and that comes back to the idea that we're pitching. What would happen if you always had at least 1 kill or always had at least 1 escape? What would happen if that were true? Someone always won the game from the survivor side, and the killer usually got at least 1 kill. And if you get 1, you're probably going to get 2. If the killer rates are 2 point something kills a game, what if that was true per game, not just on this huge law of averages?
Yeah, no, I think there needs to be balance in game as the game's going on. And there would be a lot of trial and error in that because people, players always find a way to work the system, right? Mm-hmm. Like you could have a killer that throws the game so the balance goes towards them, so that when they hit in game, they have a strong in game build and obliterate the survivors, right? Yeah. But I'd even say then, like if a killer really is like, I'm going to throw the match so that all the bonuses stack up for me to give me an opportunity, or the real way it's supposed to work is to give you an opportunity when you're really playing the game. Game goes not going your way, you get some buffs or some penalties based on how things are going. And if you're just playing the game normally, if you're not trying to work the system, like in my mind, it's just to keep the games closer,
Right. Because
I think there's some games where the system may not even come into play. It may be like, no, the game is balanced right now. You're going 1 for 1, 2 gens, 2 hooks, 2 or 3 hooks. Like things are going the way they're supposed to go. And other games, 6 hooks and no gens. Those survivors probably need some help. They're not doing so well. Or vice versa. And you can work that system That's with everything. But I think for the most part, I think it'd be a lot more work for someone to work the system and still, you could work the system and still lose an end game. So isn't it just more fun to play the game and let the game dictate what kind of bonuses or penalties you should be receiving or gaining based on how the game is going?
Right. And then I don't know. The other argument people make is, well, I'm playing well. Like, according to you, like I track it. I have heard. I'm gonna source the king. The king is the one who said it. Uh, the king basically said Dead by Daylight wants chases to last 40 seconds. I believe that what he means is from the time they are seen to the time they are on the hook. And the doctor, 37. So I'm winning because I'm getting people on hooks quicker than 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 average. Not by a bunch, but definitely quicker. With Billy, it's 35 seconds. So no wonder I won 60 of my matches. My chases are ending 5 seconds sooner than they're supposed to. Wraith. I didn't track it with that, but you know, um, so take the challenge, track your stuff, and yeah, it takes time to track that kind of stuff. I got to sit there with a stopwatch. It's really annoying, but I also don't have like a staff.
Yeah,
um, you know, and even if you don't like, because I track how long does it take for the first hit on average to the second hit. But if you're, it's one thing for you to like, I feel like that chase was this long. You weren't timing it, and if you weren't timing it, you don't know. You think, but you don't know. If your average chase time, I see them to there on the hook, is 40 seconds, you are not playing well. You're not dominating the way you want to claim you're dominating. You're doing exactly what the game wants you to do. That means you're playing average. So you can't be like if you win and you weren't playing well. The whole nonsense with like, oh, I'm being so dominant, and it was I really can't stand. I almost lost.
yeah,
You know what almost means?
yeah,
You didn't.
yeah,
So first off, what does it matter? You didn't. Oh, but I almost did. Did you? Let me know when you do.
yeah,
Because again, I my my biggest losing streak, 10 losses in a row. Yours, 10 losses in a row. My wife, 7. My our brother, 7. My son, 9. The team, 8. You know, our
yeah,
biggest streak ever, 13. I came the next closest at 11, and we did that and never came close again. My next best streak is 7 in a row, and
yeah,
one of those 7 was that 11 game streak. I I've never. Here we go with doctor. I'm gonna go with. I'm just going to my splits. No big streak. No big streak. No big streak. No big streak. Possibly 3 losses or 3 non-wins, but then I got to win. I have exactly one split where I didn't get a win. I've never come anywhere near an 11 game or a 10 game losing streak at Skiller. Never. And you know that again is indicative about like when you win 3 out of every 4 matches, or let's be real, when you win 6 out of every 10 matches, or 5 out of it, well, no, 6 out of every 10, maybe 7 out of every 13.
hmm
I don't understand what your beef is. This claim you're making and how unfun the game is. If you think the game's unfun and you win 7 out of every 13 matches, imagine how the survivors of the other 6 games feel? Because they lost and it probably wasn't fun.
Yeah, yeah, and and unfortunately, I mean, no matter what we say or do, it's gonna change the overall opinion there. It's
Yep.
because people don't track their stats. Or, yeah, they'll feel good. Oh, I've won 5 in a row, and then they'll get blasted. Might even get blasted twice in a row, right? Might even
Yeah.
really get that toxic 4-man that comes in there.
Yeah.
But then I always assert, um, that so you killer who wins pretty handily, you get blasted by a real, maybe a toxic 4-man. How do you then respond to that? Do you then take it out on the next team you go against? So you're just
Yeah.
perpetuating that kind of behavior of, okay, I went against this toxic team. They embarrassed me, hurt my feelings. So now this next team, I'm going to embarrass them and hurt their feelings, and they've done nothing except for log into my room, but I have to take it out on
Yeah.
someone. Um,
Yeah.
all because of a couple of games that didn't go your way, when the majority probably do go your way. You probably are dominant in most of your, or even if not dominant, you
Mm-hmm.
probably did put up a better showing um, in most of your games. And
Yeah.
so it's I don't know, it's because of that though. And you've admitted to feeling it yourself. You're win a few games and then you get destroyed and you're like, this game is garbage. It's so unfair. And then you have the stats to go, well, actually, it's not. Like, I've
Yeah.
lost 3 and won 5, but most players don't have those stats to look at, right? They're
Yep.
not actually. So to them, and that's why, like, the narrative will never change. Uh,
Or
if
they'll keep
you're,
their stats. You can't, you can't play 10 games and be like, see, we tracked everything since like April of 2019 or some such thing, and then since the update we reset. I don't have 10 games. I have 1,000 games, and when you look at it holistically, that is a real average. You can't play 10 games in one night and be like, see, I lost 5. Play another 10 games.
yeah,
And first off, again, if I've never lost, I told you I ended like lower. What I do is I'd lose 3, win 1, lose 3. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I've never lost more than 4 games in a row as killer. Now you can lose 3, win 1, lose 2, win 1, lose 3, win 1, and in that little season, you're gonna feel a kind of way. But but I promise, I have now played 361 games, and I don't know what my overall win percentage is, but I win more than I lose. On the big scale. So you have to keep your stats continuously, and that is what will help you when you're having a bad 10 or 20 games. But again, if we follow our idea, if Dead by Daylight would consider our proposal, that that would be so unlikely. They're like me personally. I want and I believe that this idea would eliminate any 4-man escape and any 4 kill. But then you'll have killer mans like, why can't I get a 4 kill? Same reason they can't get a 4-man. It sucks. It's not fun.
yeah, 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 and that's, yeah, for that 4-man group, a 4-man is no longer an option for them. Don't even
Yeah.
try. Don't waste your time. It is impossible to do. There's no way to get a 4-man. There's no. Well, what if 3 get out and someone gets a hat shoe? Doesn't matter. there's no hatching no more. You know, like that person dies. You know, the like they
Yeah.
just that's it. Like there's nothing you can do, and
Yeah.
that would make a lot of killers feel better. You
Yep.
know, like I worked hard in this game. I deserve something. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. You got that person on the hook, and the game is being unfair, not giving you a chance to, you know. Yeah, I love making the four man happen, but if they take it away and they're like, no, like the killer deserves at least that much.
Right.
They had to play through this whole game where they were dominated, and they finally got that one person on the hook. And in game, they're dead.
Yep.
You know,
I
that's it.
so something I added to the proposal when I posted it on a forum is if all 5 gens are done, the guy in the hook or the next guy to get hooked automatically dies right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
It,
It sucks for it, but then you just have to make that sacrifice, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
you know, like, you know, that's it. Like that's like I would even say this. I would even say like, okay, if
Mm-hmm.
okay, if all four or all gens get done and no one's on a hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't even open the doors until someone is caught and hooked and in game,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
that might be something to consider. Now,
Now
vice versa,
again,
the other thing I added to the proposal, so uh, 5th gen's done, someone's gonna die. If 2 hooks happen, the doors automatically activate all the gen power. Because Dead by Daylight already has what it wants: 2 people dead.
yeah,
So the gens automatically open. Now, it's not a guaranteed tie because all you got to do is find one survivor and then you get your win. But at least then someone gets out.
yeah, yeah, and that's the yeah. You can still get 3 kills,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll never get that 4.
Yeah,
No way to
because
work,
I
you
don't
know.
think. Yeah.
Um, Even if it just goes into, you know, you kill that third person, it could be an automatic animation of that last survivor, you know, running
Mm-hmm.
out of the open, you know, however they want to do it. But yeah, you know, and that will end a lot of I or, I think it'll end a degree of toxicity, right? The
Mm-hmm.
toxicity of I'm angry at your team, and so now I'm just going to slug your entire team. And I got you all. It's like, well, one person is going to get out, or
Yep.
like, man, this toxic team, and I tried so hard, and now they're all going to get out. It's like, well, no, they're not. One of them's going to have to sacrifice themselves.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to have to you're going to get one. They are no longer going to embarrass you at the exit door and do it unhook at 8,000 body blocks and all of them get out, teabag you at the
Mm-hmm.
door, and isn't that embarrassing? No, like you're
Yeah.
going to get one of them, and flip side, at least one of them's going to get out. You are no longer going to get to embarrass the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to get out. You know?
And the if you still want to do win streaks, escape streaks, or kill streaks, you've always counted at 3 or 4 anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I think people will be angry though because they're like, no, I should get all 4 if I'm better than all 4. Well, first off, what makes you better than all 4? How do you even measure that?
Yeah.
You know, but I would rather play a game where I know there is. So when people say they want balance, what they want is I think I'm good, so I should win all the time. That's not balance. That's ego.
Yeah.
What I think is when I load into a game, if I hit the Y button right now, I should believe I have an equal opportunity to escape or die. And I should not now look, the I don't know that I don't know that it changes my actual win percentage. And I don't care about that. I'm okay going 7-7, 4-5, 4-6. I'm okay with a 40% win percentage. I just don't want to lose 10 games and then win 6. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. You know, how many games did you or I or anyone win? Like, I know you got out of a hatch. I know I got out of a hatch. But I had to let someone die. I had to sit there and be like, okay, Ben, I'm sorry, buddy. Go ahead and kill yourself. Like, that's a terrible, I can win or I can be a nice guy. Again, you can't do both in Dead by Daylight, not now.
Yeah.
And these are things that I think we can avoid. And I think that this proposal, and again, you can go to my post, Stick MC, on the forums and look at that. And you know, like that, this is the the solution is not buff killer, buff survivor, do anything. The solution is make each game a challenge in and of itself. And then you have new game modes like, oh hey, you got 3 gens done before the guy got a hook. Now you have to go into the basement and pull out a key and go unlock your gen. And only yours. You can't unlock everyone's gen. You can get a key and unlock a gen and work on that gen. And the killer's like, cool, someone got to go to my basement. I got a chance. I'm going to get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a new game mode. You know, and of course you can think about it like, well, no, hey, we're about to finish our 3rd gen. Hey, Timmy, go to the basement. Okay, 3rd gen's done. Like, you know, but if I'm a killer and I know that there's 2 gens done, I might be inclined. Like, there's still strategy there.
Yeah.
But the game's going to give you an opportunity, you know? And you get more time, like, again, because perks are still a thing. You can bring deadlock. So 1 gen gets done, another guy gets deadlocked. You're giving yourself time. But if you can't kill 1 survivor, then maybe you are that much worse. But don't worry. Even if you're that bad and they get all the gens done despite all of that, all you got to do is down 1 dude. And if you're really smart, you down that 1 dude, you have Blood Warden, you down that 1 dude, you hook him, and then you're going to get another dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like I do like the idea of there'll never be a 4-man escape and there'll never be a 4 kill. Like
Mhm.
you don't as a sweaty 4-man team, you don't get to flex against the killer. And as a sweaty try-hard killer, you don't get to flex against the team. Like,
Mhm.
you can win, just don't get to flex. They already have the grounds where they've already shown, like, well, no, if you get all the survivors down, then there's an auto story. It's already built in, you know, they can build it into the game already to where if there's 1 survivor left, that's it. There's the animation, they automatically escape.
Yeah, the hatch opens under them.
Yeah, whatever it is. Or the animation, you show like all 4 guys running out thinking they escaped, and the last one gets blocked by the entity, and you watch the killer mori them, right? Like,
Yep.
you were the last, you know, whatever the metric is for that, however the metric decides, like, no, you know, you're the one to die. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. You can do it that, you know, as soon as the gens start, or as soon as all the gens are done, and game starts right away. And, you know, in game ends, and maybe it's just random. 3 get out, 1 dies randomly. Whatever it is, but.
Well, no, like let's say you got all 5 gens done. Which again, if those game modes are activating, I like you're just accounting for it. But even if you get the end game done, the 3 guys run out. The 4th guy will always get killed. The entity will just kill him.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you get everybody there and the guy doesn't down you, you get everyone down. 3 people escape. The entity's gonna snatch the 4th guy. Always.
Yeah.
And if you go down there and you down 1 guy, the minute you down that guy, the hatch opens and the survivor who's not downed, like, he gets out. Because you got your kill, you got your win, and wherever that guy is when you're down, that's where the hatch opens. So you can't select for the 4K anymore. But why? Why does it matter? You got the win. You won the game by any metric you want to use.
Yeah.
And you know, so it's there, you know, but yeah, again, on the other side, we talked about like what happens there if you got 2 kills, the doors activate. So how you manage to not get the other door open and get out, like again, that's why these things are in place for you. But it's their design to make sure the game is fun for both groups. And if you're the only one who gets out, you're like, oh man, I'm glad that the game has a mechanic to make sure that someone at least could escape. And on the killer side, it's like, man, I'm glad I at least got one kill.
Yeah.
That, and then you just got to get like one game better, and then MMR can kick in, and you'll face a level of survivor lower or a level of killer lower, and then it might be that difference. But again, it might not change your specific win rate. It just means you won't have 10 4Ks in a row and then 10 4-man escapes in a row, because that's how the game's balanced now. And it shouldn't be that way. Every game should feel like, okay, I'm in this, I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again,
I,
like when I play Trapper, I'm waiting for one gen to be done. Uh, Knight, Skull Merchant, like I'm not even worried until we're down to one gen, and I'm still not worried. I'm like, yeah, no, but I got my network set up. I'm ready to go. But then I get my 2K, and then the doors automatically power, so you can't 3-gen into complete submission. That nurse hooks me. I'm dead. You know what I mean? Because that
yeah.
gen got done, and then she got a chance, to get one of you. She downs 2 people. She downs one guy. The hatch opens right under the guy. You got your win. The only reason 2 people got out in that game is because the nurse wanted a 4K.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it was a win.
But then and so once the 4K is taken away, once the 4-man's taken away, people will, their mindsets will change, and they will just play for what they can actually get. And I think it would bring some health back to the game, because then people aren't survivors aren't being toxic, believing they could really get all four of their teammates out. Of course, toxic is, from the point of view of the player. But I'm talking about eliminating, like, so survivor side goes, oh, that's toxic. Killer side goes, oh, that's toxic. Well, let's eliminate that.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful plan. Like, okay, it's pointless for you to slug, because at a certain point the game's going to determine, nope, game's over, this person gets out. And I do think it's pointless for you guys to try so hard to get that 4th person out. They're dead. In-game started, they're on a hook, they're dead. Worry about yourselves. Get out. Just, go. Like, let's not.
And why not, man? Just leave that alone. That's why I've started doing it now, where I don't do it every time, but I'm like, wow, that guy doesn't have a single kill. I'm gonna go back and at least offer. And if the guy's like, no, I don't want your pity kill, I'm like, well, then you don't care. Then I'm leaving. Or you're angry anyway. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, like, I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be 4-killed, and I know how it feels to get a 4-man. And so if when and we saw it tonight, I'm like, hey, here's a toolbox. And they're gonna say, yeah, sure, go out. I'm like, all right, bet. And so if I'm gonna ask the killer to nicely let me go, I still look at it as a loss personally, but the game counts it as a win. And when I go back in and I let a guy kill me, I still count it as a win, but the game sees it as a loss. But at that point in time, you're just trying to, like, hey man, the game got played, and I know how frustrating that is. Like, go on, get out, go on, get on the hook. Now, the challenge I'm doing with the 100, I can't do that, because I'm trying to use this data to prove that this is the problem. Because I can have a kill rate of this high and a win rate of this much, and all I have to do is not have any regard for the other player's fun. And that is mean. It's not toxic, because it's my job. It's the killer role. But it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not kind. And, And even then, there are at least two games I can think of where I'm like, no, I gotta let him go. I can't.
Yeah,
I got my win. My kill rate is down. But you know what? Like, I can only do so much. I can only play so hard. I can be so toxic. You know?
yeah, yeah. I'm starting to feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I've made my point. I think I'm gonna. I played like 3 games with Sadako, and I'm like, I, I think I'm gonna do well with Sadako. I could be
yeah,
wrong, but I think I'm gonna do well with Sadako. Um, I'm gonna practice Nurse and Huntress until I can beat two no perk, no add-on bots.
yeah,
Until I can beat bots with an actual build, on some sort of reliable thing, and that's fine. There'll be plenty of whatnot. I may never do 100 games with Nurse or Huntress or Trickster or Deathslinger. Uh, you know, but at that point in time, like maybe after I play every killer, which I still don't see, you know, the most I play in a night is like 4 or 5 games, and if I play all killer, I'm not going to get through, I don't know, 30,000 games or 3,000 games. I'm always going to have a new killer I can mess around with, so it'll happen.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And I think you may not do all the killers, but I think you'll have a large enough sample size to just kind of go like like this is me. I'm not good with all the killers. This is what I can do with these killers. Other people who are better than I am could probably do a lot better with the killers I'm bad at.
yeah,
They're nurse. Killers that really require some degree of aiming. Um,
mm,
and like, hey, I'm not good at that aspect, but even so, I'm able to do this with these killers. Um, doesn't I still don't think it means if you can't do it with all the killers, I don't think that means that the the scenario you're trying to portray, point you're trying to make, isn't valid. It, what you're saying is like it is capable, and ultimately your skill level will determine how successful you are in winning with the killer, no perks and no add-ons. If you tunnel camp, that
yeah.
and if you're a better player, if you're a better gamer, you are gonna, I
Well, see, I
guarantee
affirm.
if you take odds and you say odds, I want you to play 100 games, no perks, no add-ons with Trapper, who he loves. I guarantee he would have a bigger win record than you did, or a bigger win
Yeah, he'd have
percentage.
more than 47 wins,
Right.
57 wins.
Right. I can guarantee that.
But I don't
Um.
think you should win 57 times out of 100 without any perks or add-ons. I don't think that should be a thing you can do. I I
Yeah,
really don't.
and
Like,
and 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 maybe not. But that's not really the. I don't think that's the point of your series. The point of your series
no, it's
is
just a side
if
note.
you play killers and you play in this way, you can win. Regardless of whether people say it's fun or not, all you're saying is that you always have this nuclear option to fall back
Yep.
on. You can start any game going, no, I'm going to play according to the survivor rules, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And when you get down to that last gen, you're like, nope, I'm doing the nuclear option. Tunnel you
Yeah.
out, and I'm going to camp you, and you're going to die. And then and that is what your series is trying to really showcase, is like this is
Yep.
always an option. Like this one
Mhm.
option always, as a killer, give you an opportunity to win games. Um, It's not about is it, is it right? Is it wrong? Should you win that much? Should you not win that much? Should you play this way? It's just saying this is always an option. The game has built into it this option that is more successful than not. Not 100%, just more successful than not. And I think, you know, that is what your series killer, in my mind, is displayed.
Yeah,
Nothing
no,
else.
that's the
Just
main point.
just just that point of play like this with just about any killer, and you can have a winning record. Now, again, it doesn't. If you're bad with the nurse, that doesn't mean your point isn't valid because people who are good with the nurse don't have the same issues you do.
Yeah,
Like someone else who's good with the nurse and no perks, no add-ons, they can play, the way you're playing because you've never said uh, the overall point of listen, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what killer you play. If you play exactly like this, you're going to win 100% of your games. Never said that.
yeah,
All you said was if you play like this, you it's a nuclear option that gives you an opportunity to have a winning record more often than not. And so far,
yep,
you've proven that. And yeah, you might get to that killer that you're just really bad at. Like maybe you do play the nurse, and maybe you end up with 30% win percentage because your aim is horrible. You know, like
yeah,
but again, if the rest of maybe you have five killers you're not good at, but if you have one percentage with the rest of them, I still think the point is valid.
yeah. Well,
It's
not
a
only that, but like you don't have to play with killers you're not good at. There's no obligation. Like I don't. The game doesn't force me to play nurse just because I've won too many games with Trapper.
yeah, and that's another good point. I've always these people who want all the killers balanced and they should all like no, that's bullshit. You have killers. Why do all the killers have to be strong? Like
Well, you got Nurse, Blight, Spirit, and people don't talk about Spirit a lot, but Nurse and Blight, people are like, man, no, they should all be that strong. No, no, they shouldn't. Because you look at it, like again, like Blight. Scott Yoon is like, why is no one touching these add-ons, double speed, whatnot? Like there are so many nuclear options with Blight, but there's a part of me, just for the record, I don't mind Blight being, I don't mind Blight Nurse at all because I wish I had a Survivor where if I've lost 10 games straight, I can go to the Survivor and I can win 10 games straight. And so I don't mind there being two, three, four killers that are gonna pretty much win all the time, right? Wesker, I don't mind because there are other killers that I might have a chance against, you know, and I'm okay with that. But if all of them are Nurse Blight, whatever, then suddenly I'm like, well, then I'm not playing. I'm not, there's no, if there's no hope for me as a survivor, then then I don't care. But if I'm a killer player and I'm not having a good day with this guy, well then I can go to someone I feel stronger about, and I'll probably win, and that's okay. And maybe I'll win 10 times, maybe I'll win 1,000 times, like that guy with Blight, But maybe he's like literally the only killer that guy plays with. He's
yeah,
just there's nothing forcing him to use any of the other killers.
yeah, you shouldn't have to. Like
You know,
if you have a
like
killer that works, like
yeah,
why why just if you want every killer to be strong, then just make one killer. Make one super
Well, not
strong
only that,
killer.
but
Yeah.
then they say, well, I want variety. Well, okay. If by variety you mean you want to win all the time with anyone, that's not variety.
Yeah.
Variety is different. So, I win 57 out of 100 games with Trapper. I win 56 out of 100 games with Wraith. I win 60 out of 100 games with Hillbilly. And people are like, Hillbilly's nerfed. Oh man, I'm not very good at all, and I win 60 games with Hillbilly. So I disagree with your assertion. And maybe I don't win a whole lot with Myers or Hag. Like, I think I'm going to struggle with Hag. But I'm struggling with Doctor. I really thought I was going to be better with Doctor, and I'm not. Like, I'm like, wow. But I play my games. I'm like, hey, am I going to have 49 wins with Doctor? And you're like, see, you can't win with all the killers. I go, no, I can't win with Doctor. I've already proven I can win with killers. Maybe I'm only good with these three, but I don't have to. I'm going to do all the killers. And maybe I don't. Maybe I lose 100 out of 100 games with Nurse, but I don't have to play 101 games. I can be like, nope, I verified I suck with Nurse. I'm going to go right back to these killers I'm good at. But that's variety. Variety is I'm trying something fun. I'm trying something different. I'm learning a new play style. And there you go. Like the variety isn't no matter what I do, I win. Variety is I'm going to take this risk and maybe I win and maybe I lose. That's variety.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I think
that
you said and
unfortunately,
oh, there you go.
yeah. I'm just saying. I was trying to. I was trying to think how to phrase it because yeah, you talk about variety and yeah, okay. Anyone that might actually survivor names, of course you're take that point of view. Granted, but I also think we've said things we've played that there are changes that need to be made to looping all the way back around for the average killer, the average survivor. Because, you know, uh, that average killer only plays on weekends or only plays a few games, during the weeknight. Uh, yeah, we've made the point there too. Like these changes are not that we're talking about that we want to happen. And it's not about like let's going back to your variety thing is like yeah well the not saying the variety should be to overpower all the killers so no matter what you do when you come on you're going to win. Um, it's about you can play a killer, any killer you want, and as you're playing a game as a killer, you have the ability and the chance to win your games, um, or have an actual chance in all your games, regardless of who you're playing. If you're just learning to play a new killer, because I think
Hmm.
all the killers has been proven can be really dominant, depending who you are and how much time you put into them.
Yeah.
But they so many players want that dominance to happen the second they log into a game. But under our idea, our plan, it is to give those like Matt, you're not good with Doctor. Okay.
Hmm.
So based on this system, the game would give you a buff to help you out. Because
Yeah.
like you're trying, man. We see you, but you are not good with this killer. So you're going to get buffed in these games. Your speed's going to increase, or the gens are going to slow down, or so. What we're talking about is like, yeah, we're whining, like, so unfair. Uh,
Yeah.
what was us? But we are in the end talking about health for the entire game for both survivors and killers.
Yeah.
It's not just about like, hey, let's make the survivors super powerful. No. But I'm not going to also go, well, let's make the killers super powerful too. I'm like, no. killers alone. There's plenty of good, powerful killers out there, and if you use them time, you love Trapper. Other people go, "Oh, Trapper's garbage." You're like, "No, Trapper's great." But other people think Trapper's garbage, and so already you can be really good with the Trapper.
Yeah.
Other people think he's garbage. Oh, you should buff him, make him stronger. I'm like, but he's already buffed the Trapper. Why buff again? Like, that's
Yeah.
like it's. So the point is, I don't think we're saying like, hey, don't do anything for the killers. I think it's like, no, do something for the entire game. Make the entire.
I want to know that whoever I play with, whatever I do, I have a chance on either role at any time. I want to know. Like, here I am, I'm playing a game of Nurse while we talk because, like, why not? And I'm about to utterly obliterate this guy. And I was talking about how, like, Nurse is so hard, and it is. Where'd he go? But it's that polarizing. When I go into fatigue against Nurse, it is so hard for me to see.
Yeah. But that's the reward. Nurse isn't get you strong character, but I think it's proven that just because it's a strong character doesn't mean. But the reward is, if you can master that character, you're gonna have more wins than losses.
Yep.
But that means mastering that character. That means taking all your lumps. I think any Nurse main would probably tell you, like, no, there's a learning curve there. I had to learn. Maybe not. Maybe people are just really good, just intuitively, and they're like, no, I started playing Nurse from day one, and I never looked back. But I think it's I've played against enough Nurses. I don't think that's the point. I think Nurses are tough to master, but your reward for struggling and learning the Nurse should be, that you mastered the Nurse. Go ahead and dominate. I'm not asking them to change the Nurse. I'm not. Just asking them not to make all the killers super powerful. Because someone out there knows how to use each one of those killers. And you don't need to make it even stronger than others. That's.
Oh, I missed. Yeah, no, and that's just kind of the way the game happens sometimes. Like, this guy might get the hatch. I doubt it. Yeah, I got him. Bloodlust with the Nurse. Oh, you might get it. In the fatigue. Yeah, he's not gonna get it. Oh, he found the hatch! So yeah, no, it's there. I deserve to lose that. I deserve to not get that guy. Cause I can't the other one, and I couldn't hit my blinks. But that doesn't have anything to do with this Dwight. I missed the blink. It's my fault. And so it's there, but I can already start feeling like, hey, it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm starting to, I didn't even use the add-on that lets me see where my blink goes. Now I might lose 100 out of 100 games with Nurse, but give me that one add-on so I know where she's going. And that's a different game.
Yeah.
When I no longer have to rely on my instincts to aim and get there, that's a different story altogether. And that's all we're asking for. We're asking for a game where when I begin competing, I feel like I got a shot. I can do it. I don't want to log into a game and hear that and I'm like, well, I'm dead. you know, I don't want to hear that and be like, nope, I'm dead. Sorry guys. you know, I don't want to spawn into a map as a killer and be like, oh, cold wind. Well, this sucks. Like I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to experience that. I want to feel like. I want to feel like, hey, I just have to do my best. And if I do my best, I'm gonna get something. I paid for this game. I worked hard. I play. I'm gonna get something out of my efforts, and I might still lose because I'm terrible with nurse. But hey, at least, at least I'm not gonna get like utterly humiliated. Because on one side, this isn't the NFL. For again those people wanting balance, the Patriots, in the last 20 years, they weren't worried about balance.
Yeah.
They didn't give two farts. They're like, no, in real competition, you could actually have a team win 11 AFC championships, and even the Patriots will tell you like, no, it wasn't fun. I lost. I lost. I don't know. They got 6 rings, so didn't they lose? Didn't they lose 5 Super Bowls? They probably feel a way about those 5 Super Bowls. Meanwhile, you got teams like the Texans and the Cardinals and the Lions. They've never even no. The Cardinals have been. The Lions and the Texans. They've never been to a Super Bowl. The Jaguars have never been to a Super Bowl. They are upset.
Yeah.
But that's not like no one's getting paid, $51 million to play this game. They're at most you're I don't know what the streamers make, but they're not, they're not billionaires, I don't think. And so it should matter, and while I'm not saying like you should get a gimme win, like not as a team. Again, not as a team. I am not talking about the a team should win all the time. If anything, I think the killer should have an opportunity to get the win.
Yeah. Well, that's even in in the end, why that will always be an option for a killer to get the win. The killer gets to play the entire game,
Yep.
regardless of whether like something like we're talking about was ever incorporated into the game, or the game stays as it is. There's no point in the match with the killer. There's no like, oh, we've done 3 gens and now the killer over it off the map, and now we just finish the rest of it once we get out.
Yep.
Like the killer will always have an opportunity. End game happens, and you can't even get out. You can't do anything. As a survivor, maybe all your orders are revealed right away, and the killer, track one of you down, will kill one of you, and now you can get out. But now the killer still has a shot at the other 3 after killing the one. So that opportunity will always be there for the killer. So because that opportunity is always there for the killer to take a complete loss, all 5 gens are done, 4 players are still alive, but the killer still has that opportunity, then yeah, I think it's only fair that at least one survivor is going to get out. It abolishes a lot of what both sides call toxic, and it'll be stopping the progression of the game. I'm going to tunnel everyone and keep you down on the ground and stab at you, whatever. Just I'm going to stall the game so that I don't give you guys an opportunity to get up, get off hooks, or wiggle free, or it's like, no, the game's just going to end now. Like, and one person's going to get out, you're not going to control. You're not going to beat the entire team.
Yeah.
Or
And you shouldn't.
Or yeah, no, you're not gonna stay in the game and continue the killer. The game's, the game is over, and one of you will die. One of you will have to get put on. And I only think it should be the entity doing it. Like one of you will have to die. This game cannot end any other way. There's no special magical way to make the game end by all getting out. Someone's going to have to die. And I think that would help the toxicity level a lot.
Yep. Because someone else have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, both sides. Someone's got a shot. You can't get a overkill, can't get a overman. There's, don't prolong the game, just do what you know you can and get the hell out. We just in the game already, like, we were in the game against the Pinhead, and he was gonna do the whole slugging thing and just prolong the game, right? And like, no, like, just hook us in the game. Like, don't play this game. Managed to get out because he left me down on the ground and I had unbreakable. But like, you're just stalling out the game because you want to. But yeah, take that away. And you're not stalling the game. You're just going to hook people. That's it.
I got worked. Or I'm getting worked.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. But yeah, no, all of your points are valid. All of your points are true, and people need to again, what are your expectations? When you're playing a game and you want to win all the time. Your expectation is to win all the time, and that's an unfair expectation. That's not like realistic.
Yeah. I mean, you can want to, but yeah, I go into every game wanting to win, but I'm also with every game now, or learning with the expectation of, yeah, I want to win. If I don't, okay, but how many of them am I, staying within that average? If I'm not staying within that average and I have a bad night, or maybe I get one escape, yeah, I'll feel a certain way, but probably then going to have a night where I'm winning record, not just a 40% record, by my 70% win rate. Those have happened for us because balance.
Yeah.
And that's it's fair to go into every game going, I want to, but it's unreasonable to, I think, then when you lose, and when you win or lose an appropriate amount of games, to be upset because you didn't win 100% of your games.
Yep.
Like you've just got to be reasonable. I've won like 60% of my games that I played. That's pretty good. I won 40% of my games. That's what the game wants me to do. So this was actually a good night. But yeah, don't go to every game wanting to win. You can't go to the game. I've won the last two, so I should just run underneath the hook for this one.
Yeah, no.
No,
And by all means, try to win.
yeah.
Just don't be affronted at a loss.
Yeah. No.
Because that's when things are not reasonable. That's when you're not really It's not a game anymore if you're supposed to win all the time. It's not a game anymore if you're supposed to dominate. That's not a game. Then the survivors exist for your pleasure, not for fun. These bots are giving me like legit trouble. They got comms on point. There it is. Got her. Alright, man, I'll finish up this game. But, you have a good one, and, I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye.
We'll finish this game out, because why not? It's something to try. Gotcha. Well, you know, I'm already starting to get some progress here with my gens. Hook you up there. Get this guy. I want to get to that hill gen. There she is, working on that hill. She goes. There she goes, folks. She's running. You're gonna cordon yourself off here in a minute. Where did they go? There you are, you sneaky thing. Yeah, camped her out of it. Scared you? I don't know why I can't go through a tree. I'll M1 even with Nurse and still win. Oh, nice. She get dodged too? Will. Look at that. See, and that's how the game should be. I got her, you know? And sure, if I was a better blinker, like, that would work. If I had the add-on, that would work. But you know what? I already got a kill. I won. So it just kind of goes to show you. All right, folks. So I decided to go in and play some games just to, you know, I wanted to go in and because I didn't want you guys just like listening with no content to look at. But I hope you'll show this. I hope you'll provide your thoughts. I hope you'll consider going to the posts that I made on the DBD forum because this is all we're asking for, and I think it's the healthiest thing you can do for the game. So we're gonna wish you a good night, and we'll see you around. Bye.